Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Real Conversations with Sheeta and
Nikki.
This is part 2 to highlighting female entrepreneurs in honor of National Women's Month. And I just want to start off with a fun fact. On March 10th of 2021 was officially known as Harriet Tubman Day. Harriet Tubman Day is now known as an American holiday in the United States. And we all know who Harriet Tubman is. She is recognized as an anti-slavery activist and an abolitionist. And Harriet Tubman has led hundreds of slaves to freedom and served as the official quote-unquote conductor of the Underground Railroad. And she was also known as Moses. So I thought that was significant for that to come about in the month of March, since this is National Women's History Month, and for Harriet Tubman to just be recognized in that way. I thought that was great. Now here's a quick word from our sponsors. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. So as we continue to celebrate women this month, we have our female entrepreneur. On this episode is Aminat Maxwell. The name of her business is Made by Aminat. And what she does is she specializes in making wishing wells, jewelry, and an assortment of homemade chocolates. Amina, do you want to give us a little bit of tidbit about yourself and your business and how you came about?
Sure. Thanks. First, I want to say thanks, guys.
Yeah, and Amina, that's my sister. Yeah. So I just wanted to add that part.
So yeah, of course. So thank you guys for asking me to be here. I've always been a really creative person from the very, very beginning, like even as a kid. And so the business came, the chocolate started with Christmas. So this past Christmas, money was kind of tight, but I wanted to still do something for my family to say, like, it's been, rough for everybody this last year with the pandemic. So I still wanted to do something from the heart that didn't necessarily take a lot of money. And so I started thinking, like, what did I have around the house and, holiday cooking. And so I made my chocolate clusters. And so I gave them out to my family, my mom, my sisters, my cousins, and things of that nature, as gifts. And I got a really good response from them and everything. And so actually, and then it took one of my cousin actually reached out to me and was like, did you really make those? Like, you really made that chocolate? You made that for real? So, if you can, make me some more. Like, make me some. And so, and I'm like, for real? And I love my cousin. First cousin like a brother. I'm looking at him like you really want me to make you some? And he was like, yeah, they good, And then his lady friend was like, I want to place some orders. And so I'm like, really? I'm looking at him like, cuz, be honest with me, like, I know she being nice, but you tell me the truth. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so, they supported me. That was like my first thing. So then the holiday, Valentine's Day was just coming around. I'm like, let's see, It's the holiday, people like chocolate, so let's do. So I did a pre-order sale, and so from there, I just been having these other ideas. I gave you ladies some samples about some swirl clusters. So I got all types of ideas of different candies and everything to come out. So that's kind of how the chocolate started. But yeah, I've been creative my entire life. my whole life. Always making stuff, paper crafting, like always making soaps, candles. Like I've been doing stuff my entire life. So
I remember even when we was younger, Mina always was into stuff. She was in band, she was in track, crocheting. She was always reading a book. Like Amina was always on drawing or something. She was always singing in the school program.
I try everything.
She was all
I think I tried a lot of different things. And like, and younger, like our parents did that too, where like my mom, she was real strong on keeping us busy. And so like I think it even started then, because over the summer we would be in swimming classes. We would be in all types of stuff just to keep us busy. And so, and then the thing is, right.
Like, Mama, why am I cheering? I don't want to do this.
Like, we was always doing stuff. I remember that. You had that picture?
I did not. I'm like, you going to this thing. I'm like, what?
We tried she had us in a lot of stuff. Wow. And so, like, we would go to the library. So, for my mama, the library was like the go-to.
Okay.
And so we would go to the library. We were in summer reading programs over the summer where you have to read the book and then tell the people and then you get prizes.
They still got that.
Wow.
Yeah, we would do that. You know, the library is actually, especially when we was younger, it was really like a resourceful place.
Yeah.
So my mom used to get the DVDs, the movies, any kid activity they had, we was there. So, and you know, the library, even now, you still have some really good ones that they have different projects for kids, kits and stuff for kids to do. So they always kept us busy, always. And so I think it just was like, oh, okay, well, let's see what we do. Let's try it, or you know. So it started really young.
Okay. So is it currently just you right now with the business, or and how big do you really want this to go, or where do you really see this going?
So it is just me, but I have 8 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
And so and so I really am. My oldest niece, I've already started to try to groom her. And so I'm working on Rashida's daughter. I'm going. She didn't know that yet, but I want to. So it's just me for right now. But like they are really good nieces and nephews. They're really good kids. And they work and they want to do stuff. You know what I mean? And so I just want to use the resources that I have around me, and I feel like they're resources. And so, like I said, my nieces, because my nieces and nephews are in sets.
Okay.
So there's like Rashida's daughter, my oldest niece, and other nephew, and then they're like preteen teenagers. But then there's another set that's like 6, 7, 5, 4. So the older nieces and nephews, I feel like I'm gonna be able to incorporate them and use them at some point. And then even like have them establish their own businesses at some point, and be able to work for each other, work for the family, and things of that nature. So in terms of how I would want this to grow, I feel like this is just like the tip of my iceberg. And so like I've already started thinking about like just different things. So just branching off into different businesses altogether. So maybe this might help start, you know, like a cleaning business for one of my nieces, or like a virtual assistant for another one of my nieces, types jobs. But overall, my biggest thing is for me is legacy. And so my oldest daughter is 7.
Okay.
So I didn't start having babies till I was in my 30s.
Okay.
But my oldest nephew is about to be 25.
Oh.
So I've been auntie longer than I've been a mom. And so they've always been around me, nieces and nephews. So my big thing is legacy. I want to be able to leave something for each one of my nieces and nephews and my children. And so my businesses are going to help do that for my legacy. So that's what it is, and I'm just really ready and willing to tap into everything that God gave me, everything that's out there, to, you know, get it out the mud so that the kids don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So just to give them something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a foundation.
A foundation,
Yeah.
absolutely. Even if once I'm gone from here, you know, dead and gone, like if all I could give them is at least, like I said, I have 8 nieces and nephews. If I could leave them each 5,000, you know what I'm saying, a piece, I would be good with that. Or my actual goal is to leave them each like some property, a piece of property that they could then, you know, hopefully my dream is that while I'm still here and living, you know what I'm saying, that I can we could learn together. You know what I mean? Because I'm 37 and I'm just learning a lot of things about business and entrepreneurship, and not to say that our parents did not teach us, because we saw a lot of entrepreneurship as kids.
Okay.
Like our mom and dad, they did, like, I saw vending machines, like the little candy. You remember that, Rashida?
The little gumball
The
machine?
little gumball machine.
Right, that was in the house.
That was right. It was in the house. So like they started trying to do that, but I guess, you know what I mean? The information that we have now and the access to it is different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
before.
now you can go on Instagram, you can get on YouTube, and you can find a mentor for anything. Vending machine, real estate, e-commerce. You know what I'm saying? Versus 20, 30 years ago where you had to have a person. You know what I mean? Like you had to know somebody physically that you can call and contact to be like, I'm looking for a vending machine. Would you know? Right now, you can go on Craigslist and look for a vending machine, and you could find somebody way in Tallahassee, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the access to the information is way different now than it was then. So we saw it young. Selling insurance. My dad used to sell insurance. My mom would sell like African clothes, accessories. Like we saw it a lot. Like my grandmother, she owned a thrift store in Beverly back in the grandma.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
She owned a thrift store.
I didn't know that. And it was either the 60s or the 70s. She had a thrift store over in Beverly. Our grandfather and his family and some of his brothers, they own the gas station on the west side of Chicago. So it's in us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm learning that now. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good to know now that, you know, that our family has always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and it's really up to us to really tap into that. You know, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Have a foundation for your nieces and nephews, and that's the same thing that I want as well. So really have a foundation so that when they get older, they won't have those same obstacles that we're having now. Because like you said, when we was younger, like they did have entrepreneurial spirit, but I didn't
recognize it.
At that time that's what it was.
They didn't really necessarily talk about it.
Okay,
we're buying a vending machine and we're gonna do this. It was more like you saw it, like like
this? We missed the steps in them actually doing it. Like I wish that we were actually there seeing it, so that we can pick up on it and use it, you know, for ourselves.
And take it further. Right. And so you're right. Like it wasn't until I started having these, you know, my own ideas about starting my own businesses that I'm like, vending machine. And then I'm looking at vending machines and it's like, then they start talking about the different types. The little candy, the little gumball. And I'm like, we've seen these before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing
about
these
that.
before.
So you just said that.
And then even like the selling the life insurance. I had a life insurance, like a license to sell life insurance myself as like something to generate additional income, right? Some side money, right? And so then I thought about like, my daddy did used to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or so we've seen it, but like you said, it wasn't pronounced.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't pronounced like this is what we're doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just there though. It was definitely there. Like because I feel like they were trying to get it. Yeah. And had they actually got it, and not to say that they never were successful or anything like that, but had they actually gotten to the other side of it, I feel like then maybe at that point they would have been like, all right, this is what we were doing. Right. Yeah. But I don't think they ever got to the other side of it where it was lucrative. to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is okay, a side hustle, or this is, you know what I'm saying, this is generating money. So I don't think they got to that point.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the good thing is, you know, you all can bounce off of each other. So, you know, you kind of feeling a little down, or, you know, can I do this? All have each other to bounce off of each other.
True.
So that's a good thing. That's a plus. So,
It definitely is. Having that support in everything is really important.
Yeah.
And like you said, the community, and just knowing that it's somebody there, even on personal levels, you know what I'm saying? Having kids and all of this other stuff, things definitely do get hard, you know? And so you're right, just having somebody there that you could be like, can you talk?
Yes, I do that to Rashida all the time. Yes.
Yeah. Me and my friend, and we do that all the time. We get the text and it's like, don't judge me. Like, so when I see the don't judge me text come through my phone, I'm like, oh Jesus, okay. Let me just read it. I got you. But we know that within each other, we have those safe spaces where we can be like, we can talk about work, we can talk about family, we can talk about entrepreneurship, whatever. So you're right. That release is definitely a big part of it.
Yeah, because I really honestly don't think that I would have been as far as I am right now with everything I'm doing if it wasn't for Rashida, because she gives me that extra push and that extra pull. So, and we came into it, founded it together. I just, you know, talked about it on one of our other podcasts, like, you know, I'm thinking about doing this, and Rashida was like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, even though it's two separate things, but it was still founded together, where we both was like
discovering it at the same
time. We just did it at the same time. So I'm grateful for her. So, I know.
Good job. Good job. Oh my goodness.
So, have you always known that you wanted to start a business or work for yourself? Have you always known?
Yeah. I feel like I've always known that. So, funny story. We grew up watching Channel 11. Like, in our house, TV was almost like a bad thing. Like, we couldn't really watch no whole lot of TV.
Not during the week, no.
But if the TV was on, it was on Channel 11. Like the PBS, right?
Okay.
Sesame Street, whoever was on Channel 11, right? It was real specific about what we could sit in front of and just have on all day.
Okay.
But I remember I was watching Channel 11, and it might have been Mr. Rogers. I'm a really big fan of Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
I like him. I love him. So, something on his show, I remember this really vividly. It was some sort of arts and crafts that he did on the show. I think it was him, but I know for sure it was Channel 11. Some arts and crafts somebody was doing. It was like some little pom-poms or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and did it, right? And I did it, made these little, it was out of like newspaper, some pom-poms. I then sold them to my friends.
Wow.
But I had no idea what price was. I had no idea what any of that was. It was just like, y'all want one? How much money you got? Like, and they just, whatever little change they had, they gave it to me. But I remember that. And it was like, huh. And so it was funny because a couple days later, I had like a little purse. It was a lot of change, and then my mom was like, where you get that money from? And I'm like, well, I made these and they sold them and then people bought them. She was like, what? You know what I mean? But I remember that. Working for myself and being an entrepreneur has always been there. Yeah. It's always been there with me.
Yeah. Because I remember one time before, I think I was in grad school or something, you was like, Rashida, I want to work for myself. And I was like, you do? Because at that time, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand it at the time. And I was like, well, you can do it. You know, I was still supported, but I wasn't at the place at that time to really understand where you was coming from. And now I look back on it and I'm like, this girl is smart. This girl was smart all the time. I didn't even catch on to that. But yeah.
I think it's just always been there. Yeah, I believe that. I can even remember I was talking to somebody, maybe within, so like I said, my oldest daughter just turned 7. So it was after she was born. I remember saying to somebody, because I was talking to somebody and they were maybe about Rashida's age, a little bit younger, a few years younger than me. But they was like, man, I wish I could work for myself. And with everything in me, like we were talking, and I turned and looked at them and I said, no, I'm going to work for myself. Like,
okay,
go ahead and wish, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I was definitely set on, oh no, it's going to happen in my lifetime that I am going to be working for myself and be successful and take care of myself and my family. Like, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And so just having, it's just there. It's just there. Wow. And I think the other thing is too, I've worked for a really long time.
Yeah, we always
like I started working since I was like 16.
Yeah, we always
I've always been working. And I think once you just start working for so long, you get it. You understand it real quick. Like, this is what this is.
Yeah.
I'm paying, you know, I'm coming to work so many hours, you take taxes out, I get this, you know what I mean? Like, it just for me, it was like, like I think I just started to see it in terms of my time, my freedom, conveniences. I don't want to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember, you know, working at Carson's. I worked retail. That's my background.
Yeah.
I worked in retail for so long, and I can remember like, I don't know. But then there were parts about some of the jobs that I had that I actually enjoyed. So like I liked closing at the end of the night, where then you had to get all the data, you had to get all the numbers, you had to get like the totals. You know what I'm saying? I worked, and this is way throwback, but I worked at Hollywood Video. I was like a shift manager, and so at the end of the night, you had to put the numbers in, you had to do all that stuff. I actually enjoyed that part. It was those parts about my job that I actually liked. I like this. This part I like. I never paid attention to it. It wasn't until recently that I'm like, I like those. Now, doing all the stocking and all that stuff and overseeing, making sure people do this and do that, like, that was cool. But the part that I really liked was that part. That managerial, that, the data, put the numbers in, the deposits, you know, making sure stuff balanced. I like that. I definitely like that. So, but I've been working for a long time since I was 16. So at this point, I'm 37. I got 21 years in the workforce. Like, I can remember being like 19 and 20, getting Social Security reports. Like, you know, like saying you work so many hours.
They used to send that.
You work so many hours. So if you were to retire, you would get this.
I remember.
And I remember friends were like, how you get that already? How you getting that? I'm like, well, I've been working about 3-4 years now. You know what I'm saying? I've worked since 16, so you just get tired of working. You get tired of clocking in, clocking out. You get tired of at some point you do. You know what I mean? It's like,
like then I had my first job, and I went out there looking for a job.
Me too.
Shoot, my parents was like, wait a minute, you went job hunting? I said, yeah. I need some money. So Kmart was my first job.
My mama, her favorite saying is, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. My mom used to say that to me all the time. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. I used to hate it when she said that, because she used to say it meaning like, oh, you don't like what I bought? Well, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. So if you want your own stuff, then you need to be able to pay for it. So, and then we have 2 older sisters. They work young.
I did have a job. My first job was Subway. I think I was like a senior in high school. But I didn't work it that long. Like, I worked a few months. Then I told Mama, like, I want to quit. She was like, well, quit then. So I was like, well, Mama said so. If Mama said it's okay, I'm good.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
So I quit. But she worked a long time too. Like, she always had jobs at the mall and all this places.
Right.
So,
and it's like kind of like what we talk about is like fulfilling your purpose. It's like, you know, once you have fulfilled your purpose at somewhere and it's time to do something different or whatever the case may be. So that's how I feel right now.
Then you feel like you've outgrown maybe a certain position and you're ready to move on, or you know what you want. or you know where a need isn't being met, and you wanna, and you know how to fulfill that need.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take on your own journey to figure those things out and do that.
Exactly.
You are.
So
that is true, because I feel like too, even with the jobs you didn't like, you learn what you don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you like, I don't want to work in no more sandwich places. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know. I don't work no more things. Like I think I worked at most of my jobs were retail. They were like cashiers. I didn't really do a lot of fast food.
Okay.
And so, but I was cool with that. I never felt the need to get into fast food. My mom is in like the medical field, so she was always pushing people to go into the medical field. But I'm like, that ain't.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's not for me either. So everything is a learning experience overall. Everything.
That's true.
So, where do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now with your business?
That's a really good question. And I love questions like this too. Like I really, really do. And the funny thing is, I'm gonna go because when I leave here, I'm gonna meet up with some friends, and I'm gonna ask them the same question. I'm gonna ask them like, so, and they both have their own businesses. So I'm gonna ask them like, what y'all see yourself? Like, what y'all business? So I mean, I've read. I'm in the process of reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I've heard of that.
So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm in a second book of his that's like a spinoff, and it's about the quadrants. He calls it
the 4 quadrants.
Cash flow.
Yeah, I've read.
You read that one? So I really like that one. And if I had to like suggest to people in terms of reading books and stuff like that, I would suggest that they read Cash Flow first, and then The Rich Dad Poor Dad second. That would just be me, just because I feel like their Cash Flow gives, like his Rich Dad Poor Dad is definitely a story. He's not necessarily there dropping tips. Like he's giving great information, but in Rich Dad Poor Dad, he's telling how he got his philosophy. And so in a nutshell, it's him being, him growing up. His best friend's dad was the rich dad.
Yeah.
His dad was the poor dad.
His dad was like a teacher.
His dad was a teacher.
Right.
And so he called his dad the poor dad, and he called his friend's dad the rich dad.
Right, because he was an entrepreneur.
He was an entrepreneur. And he learned all of his business stuff from the rich dad.
Right.
So in that Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's the story of, you know what I mean, how he goes and how it starts. But in Cash Flow, it starts to tell you about these quadrants.
Yeah.
It breaks it down. And I even like how it talks about like the personality traits of each quadrant. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mindset. The mindset. Absolutely. And so when he starts talking about, because it's 4 quadrants. It's the employee. It's the employee.
But it is 4.
It's the self-employed. It's the investor, and it's the business owner.
Okay.
And so you have the employee and the self-employed on the left side, and then you have like the business owner and the investor on the another side.
Okay.
But he talks about these different mindsets of how each one of these quadrants, like to be an employee, and he's not necessarily saying
that's a bad
it's
thing.
bad, right? He's not saying it's bad to be an employee, but he's just saying as an employee, you typically have this type of mindset.
Right.
You typically have these types of needs. And so to answer your question, like I would just want to be at the point where I'm not just self-employed. And so one thing he says about being self-employed is if you have to work the business in order for you to make money, then there's still room for improvement. Like because you're still trading your time for money.
Right.
And the business owner is not trading her time for money.
Right.
The business owner has a system. And so in 3 to 5 years, I would hope that Made by Mina has systems so that I'm not just trading my time for money like directly. You know what I mean? So as of right now, I don't necessarily have all my systems in place with the ordering or the, accounts and stuff like that, right? But I would like to have those things established so that it can be worked remotely. It can be worked if I delegate it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be at that point. Yeah. To say then 3 to 5 years. Monetarily, I have no idea. You know what I mean? I wanted to be able to replace my current teaching income. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to do that in 3 to 5 years. Yeah. So I don't have specific amounts. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
It sounds like you answered the question. Like you have a good idea or a vision of where you want it to look like, at least. And even like you said, you may not have everything, all your ducks in a row down, but at least you know you're working towards that. Yeah. And you know you're not afraid to put in the work to get there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think though too, and that's with any job. I was talking to a friend of mine and she was like, I don't think I want to be an entrepreneur, but I want to support. And you know what I mean? I want to know what types of things. Like she was like, I want to be an investor. Like I want to help businesses and things of that nature. So just having, like you said, all of that together. That's where I think I can say for 3 to 5 years, that's where it'll be. It'll be structurally, it'll be systematic. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right, because you want your business to be an asset, not a liability.
Absolutely.
So you want to work towards it being an asset. To where it's bringing you,
absolutely,
on its own.
Absolutely. And I think you can do that when you're not afraid or you don't mind putting in the work when it's something that your heart is in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have those reasons, and there's a motivational speaker on just everywhere. His name is Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. Have you all heard of him?
I think you told me about him.
I did. I really, really like him.
Yeah, I think you sent the video.
Like, he is like in your face.
Yeah, he's
like,
kind of aggressive.
He is.
Yeah. He is the way he be talking.
Yes, but the thing is, I need that. Like, if I'm trying to get some stuff done, I need somebody like, he has like a coach mentality. Like, his vibe is like a coach. So I joke about this because I'm a teacher. Okay. And so coaches, I feel like, have a leniency to go there with their students in a way that teachers cannot. Whereas if it's a basketball coach and he's trying to get his basketball player, or the coach, it can be a he or she. Coach could be he or she. So if the coach, he or she, is trying to get her players to dig deep and give it their all, the delivery from a coach it's not the same delivery that is expected from a classroom teacher. Yeah. So if like I said, if I'm a basketball coach and I'm like, girl, you better drop down and give me 20, right? And you better run all these laps and stuff, right? And you don't run these laps, then you're not playing and this. And the thing about this, parents are receptive to that. They're receptive to that. And so he has this coach type of delivery where he's like, if you want your business, if you want to get this done, you better run these laps. You better and it's like sometimes that is needed. Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm an athlete, you want your coach to go hard for you. You want your coach to be like passionate about you giving your all. So he has that type of delivery. Where he's like, drop down and give me 20. Like, what you mean? And again, if I'm trying to get some work done, like getting orders out, getting boxes packed and everything, and I gotta, burn that midnight oil, I'm turning him on compilations of him, and it's just playing in the background, and it's just like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you hear it, it's like, I'm not done. You gotta keep going. All right, what's next? You be tired, but I play him all the time in my background.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, because I know she sent one of his motivational speeches. Because every Monday, because I started a motivational Monday from me and you. Because me and Nicole would do motivational Monday. So I had introduced it to my family, like my sisters and my mama. Like, we should do a motivational Mondays, where we
Yeah.
do like every Monday motivational passages of scriptures, videos, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it was a Monday when you had sent that that motivational video or whatever. And I thought it was good, but it was
It's
like
very
in your
aggressive.
face.
It is.
Like,
Wow.
It's like the
Sneaky.
coaches. It's like, or the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
The drill sergeant. They looking straight,
Yeah.
and the drill sergeant right here like, boy, girl,
Right.
what you doing?
Right.
Right. That's his
Yeah.
delivery, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you need it because he says things like, you know, oh, what does he say about? Does he say a beast? Or I got
Beast
that
mode?
dog. Yeah, he like I got that dog. I'm in beast mode, and he has that delivery. So definitely somebody, because he started doing things called TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. And you know, people hate Mondays because it's the start of the work week.
Right.
So
right.
he would do his thing where it was TGIM. It was TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. And he would come in with all that energy.
Yeah.
Like, it's Monday. What you got to do for the week? Like, he
Yeah.
got that. And he up at the crack of dawn. So he's been really inspiring me to get up. So
Yeah.
I've been getting up at like 5:30 and stuff like that, trying to get stuff done. And he getting up at 4. Like, I ain't there yet.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would like to start getting up at like 5.
That's what I be telling Rashida. Like, it's hard. Like, I want to do that, and the old me probably would have been, but now with this COVID, everything is so much more relaxed. Like, I only got to be in the office one day out the week, so I be like, if I don't have to get up, I don't want to. Like, I get up early anyway, but I want to, like how you said, get up early, get my day going, even though I don't have to, but I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can get so much more accomplished early in the morning, so you get done sooner and you have the rest of your day to enjoy it with however you want to do it. So I'm working on getting my mindset there. So maybe I need to listen to, what's his name? Eric, the hip hop rapper?
E.T. Eric Thomas, E.T. the hip hop preacher. He's on Instagram.
Yeah, he on YouTube.
He
Okay.
is on YouTube. Yeah. The other thing is too is by me having children, it's like a long time,
Yeah.
and so I can get up at before they wake up, and it's become part of my personal care, actually routine, like you said, because everything has really been a lot relaxed.
Yeah.
But for my personal care and everything, just make sure I'm up, you know, take a shower, you know what I mean? From whatever I'm gonna do, whoever I'm gonna listen to, whatever I'm gonna get done for the day or whatever it is, it's just some quiet time too. So like, if I'm thinking about it as a chore, like get up at 5:30, like chore, get up at 5:30. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. But if I know that me getting up at 5:30 is gonna give me some quiet time, it's gonna give me some alone time, then I'm more motivated to be like, okay, let me get up because it's for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting up at 5:30 to do something that I don't want to do.
Right.
I'm getting up at 5:30 for my own personal care.
Okay.
So some days I get up at 5:30, you know, see I got my little eyeshadow and stuff on, you know, I get up at 5:30 or whatever and I put that on some days. It makes me feel better. And it makes me feel like, okay, what else I got to do in this house?
Yeah.
Like I can get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It motivates me to just do it.
Yeah.
Get some stuff done. So, and I be needing all the motivation I could get to get stuff done. Because it's so easy to be like, I don't feel like
it's so easy to be lazy.
Right, it is.
Just be, you know, not do anything. It's easier not to do anything.
Yes.
Or just be tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just be like drained.
Yes.
And also, and like I told you, I was just doing this 3-day juice cleanse, and I totally feel like that helped me too. Like I feel like I wasn't as sluggish, getting up or whatever. It made it easier that I didn't have, I guess, all this stuff on my stomach or whatever.
Right.
So I think that helped too. Getting up the next morning, or because I was still, and the crazy part was during that cleanse, I was tired. Like my body was physically tired. Like I don't remember the last time I was sitting somewhere and like nod it off like that.
Mhm.
But I was doing those 3 days, and like I said, I don't even know when the last time I have been that tired, but my body was drained. I guess whatever I was putting into my body, I was using it. You know what I mean? Like the fruits that I was drinking, the vegetables that I was drinking, I was using it. And so then once it was gone, because I wasn't eating anything, it was nothing else to substitute it. I was tired.
Because juice does digest in your body faster than if you were to eat like a full meal or whatever. So your body is actually sucking up all of the nutrients from the juice, and it's able to digest it a lot quicker. So that might have been why you was feeling different.
It did. It totally helped. So just, some stuff that totally helped. Like, even though I'm off the juice cleanse, I still want to keep going with it. So, like, I want to get some juices. Like, I want to keep juices just in my refrigerator. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do this a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be something that I do rarely. Like, I want to be able to do it, on like almost a weekly basis. If I could do it just juice a day or two or something like that. Or, I mean, however it comes into and maintains.
Yeah, you want to incorporate it into your lifestyle.
I want to incorporate it. Absolutely. But yeah, you should check out.
Okay. And then are you working on any new like projects? Because I know Easter is coming up, Mother's Day coming up. So are you like making or creating anything?
So everybody, please follow me on Instagram at Made by Aminat. So Made, M-A-D-E, by B-Y, Aminat, A-M-I-N-A-T. Just follow me on Instagram because I'm always trying out new things. I don't have an email list yet, so that's something that I'm working on.
Okay.
Getting an email list so that people can sign up to be like VIP and get free samples.
That's a good idea.
So that's what's coming up. Just stay tuned. I'm thinking of Easter promotions and Mother's Day sales that are coming up. Some new products, new chocolates.
Well, I want to try them.
Yes, I think everybody
that
will
white
love
chocolate
them.
cluster, those are good. I like the white chocolate better than the regular chocolate.
And that's the thing about the chocolate. It's so funny that when I do this, because I'm so open to feedback. I want to know, did you like it? What didn't you like? Right. When people tell me about their orders, I even want to take it and make it as personable as I can. So if somebody wanted to do, like a Mother's Day gift or birthday or anniversary, like let me know, you know what I mean? And I can drop some anniversary notes or some rose petals or something and make it personal.
More intimate.
Yes, absolutely. Right. So I enjoy doing those things.
So Amina, she's big on small details. I have to say that. Because I am not. I am far from that. Like, my niece's birthday was last week. Mina had stuff hanging from the ceiling, balloons, the bingo games, and she had like little personalized pictures of my niece on these stickers. I wouldn't have thought to do all that. For my son's birthday, we going to a water park.
That's fun.
Yeah, but I'm not like, I don't want to decorate nothing. Like, this water park is your decoration. And that's it. Like,
say that's it.
And that is it. But Amina, she like doing that. Like, she finds the smallest details and stuff. And I'll be looking like, I don't see it.
Wow.
I don't see nothing. But if you like it, it's going to be, I trust you.
The packaging, I care just as much about the packaging as I do about the actual chocolate.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, everything is intentional. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even with the sample boxes, they don't have my like labels or anything on them, but it's like the tape and you know what I'm saying? Like the box itself. So the packaging is, I care about that. I have fun actually putting the packaging together, like putting the chocolates in the bags and packaging them up in different boxes and bowls, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. Yeah. So you guys follow me on Instagram, Facebook. for upcoming sales and new items, new projects, new candy.
Yeah.
Everything.
I have really enjoyed you here on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Thank you guys. You guys are so cool. Everybody needs to listen. Real conversation. So it was a pleasure. You guys are really like down to earth. I'm not just saying that because you're my sister. But you guys are really like easy to talk to. I was actually really nervous. But nothing to be worried about.
Yeah.
So, on closing out, we have our takeaway for today's episode.
Yep.
So, this is by Harriet Tubman.
Mm-hmm.
Every great dream begins with a dream. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world.
All right, Harriet Tubman. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Great. So this is the end of Real Conversations with Cheetah and
Nikki.